kittens, it is Sugar, and this is a video for House of Cyanide. I wanted to do a video about a tarot reading that I recently did for myself and how it was such a hugely spiritual experience and how basically I got a big swift kick up the bum from the universe via this tarot reading. So let me tell you a little bit about this. This is a deeply personal message as a kind of a testimonial about how Spirit talks to me, how Spirit works with me, for me, or with me. And I've shared these stories in my life. Excuse me, I've done a lot of videos today. My voice is all, my throat's all dry. I've shared these experiences with lots of people, but I've never done so in such a public format before. And it's mostly because it's taking something that's so deeply personal that to share it publicly wasn't even something that I even considered. It just didn't even cross my mind. But this is kind of a message that I feel I should share with you, and to give you an example of how Spirit can speak, and sometimes it is like a whisper on the wind, and sometimes it is like a blunt mallet to the brain. So let me give you a little bit of a setup story. A friend of mine has what she calls the Pagan Family Dinner, and it's once a month. And basically it's a potluck, and there's no real ritual or anything like that. It's just people of like mind getting together to have a potluck, socializing. And then one of the things that she's started doing is before the dinner, there's now like either a free or a low price workshop. So if you're interested in learning how to make candle making or tarot reading or anything like that, you can come early before the dinner and take the workshop if you so choose. And so it's just a very kind of casual, laid back, learning, socializing environment. So I was there very early because I carpooled with a friend of mine, and they were running the candle workshop. That's Bears Den Candles. If you're actually interested in buying candles from them, I can get you their information. They make fabulous, wonderful candles. And they were running the candle workshop, and the minute I walked in the door, my eye was drawn to the bookshelf that my friend keeps her tarot cards and her witchy books and things of that nature. My eye was immediately drawn to this. There was like a whole stack of tarot cards, like just a whole bunch of them. And as polite, as a reader, I walked up to her and I'm like, hey, can I look at those cards? Like, I'm a tarot reader, and she knows this, and I love tarot, and she knows this, and I was like, would you mind if I looked at these cards? So you always want to ask, because people are very particular about tarot cards. Some are okay with public people touching them, some are not so much. And she said that I could play with those because she hadn't consecrated them yet, she hadn't bonded with them yet, and things of that nature. So in this stack of tarot cards was a deck called the Dragon Fae. Now, I'm in a fire troop called Dragon's Gaze Fire Troop. And I'm not really one of those people that are really strongly attracted to dragons, but I have a lot of people around me who are. I'm a cat girl. I'm going to choose a cat over a dragon every time. So, I was strongly attracted to these tarot cards, but it was a social gathering, and it, you know, it wasn't really the time or the place to be kind of thumbing through a tarot deck, you know, because there was probably 30 or 40 people there all talking and yada yada yada. But I couldn't put the cards down. And as I'm picking these cards up and talking to people, I'm discussing kind of what it's like to be a gypsy financially, and how some days I don't know how I'm gonna pay my bills, and then something will come through, and then at the last minute, and my bills will get paid. Because I'm self-employed and I work across the spectrum, I have so many different things going on that I never really know what the next day is going to hold and when I'm going to do what and things of that nature. Now I have a calendar and all of that, but anyway, so I was discussing this. So as I'm discussing this, I keep picking up this tarot deck and putting it down, picking up this tarot deck and putting it down. So finally, one of my friends turns to me and goes, "That deck keeps calling you, doesn't it?" And I'm like, "Yes. Yes, it does." She's like, "You just give yourself a reading. Just give yourself a reading. Obviously, that has a message for you." Boy, did it ever. Basically, the very first word off of the very first sentence off of the very first card was, "Stop trying to live your life to the expectations of others and seek unconventional ways of finding a way to make a living." First sentence. After I was just having this conversation. Blown away. I pulled 4 cards. Every single card, which I'm not going to get quite into all the details, because it is a very personal situation. Every single card was right into what I was dealing with in that moment. Like, it was, I've never had a reading that I've done for myself be so clear and so strong. It's not a traditional tarot deck, it's more of an oracle deck. So you're not, you know, it's not, there's not 6 of Pentacles or anything like that. It's more like an oracle deck where you look up the meanings in the book. But I've never had anything come through so strongly. Usually when I do a reading for myself, it's a little ambiguous, and this was a kick to the head. This was the universe saying, "Girl, quit your whining, get off your butt, take care of your business. You want to do this, you need to do it. Otherwise, you need to go back to to join being a cog in the system. You know, if you don't want to be a cog, you want to be a freewheeler, then you need to do what you need to do and quit your whining. Just quit your whining." And blown away. Blown away. I can't explain to you how emotionally hit I was. Start crying. You know, in this room of like 30 or 40 people, all socializing and drinking and eating and just casual environment, crying. And they're like, "Oh my God, Sugar, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I actually wrote down the entire reading in a notebook that I carry with me everywhere. You know, and so there were people coming and going, and they were like, "Oh, hi, Sugar," and you know, and I'm a hugger, and I meet everybody, I give them a big hug, and they're expecting me to get up and come give them a hug, and I'll be like, "I'll be with you in, you know, in just a minute." Scribble, 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 like, stupid camera. Anyways, so I cannot tell you how strong of a message this was for me. And it was a validation. It was a validation that everything that I've been doing, that I've been wanting to do, that I'm on the right path, and that if I start whining and I start complaining and I start taking the easy way out, which would be going back and getting a part-time job or a full-time job after I've got all of this stuff established that I do now, which for me, that would be taking the easy way out. It's told me to stay what I'm doing. It gave me the validation I need. It set fire to my passion again, right as it was dwindling, right as I was beginning to doubt. And I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And what I'm doing is I finally have put into gear House of Cyanide Curios, which is gonna be basically retail. I'm gonna be selling stuff that I make. I've got stuff on there some of my friends have made, some of Rocky's artwork. I'm gonna be reselling stuff, so I'm gonna be going out and finding interesting, cool, vintage things and reselling them. And I'm still gonna perform, I'm still gonna do the burlesque, I'm still gonna write, I'm still writing articles, but I've realized that I'm gonna make House of Cyanide Curios my financial focus, and that way I can look at the performing and the writing as doing something that I love, and that if it makes money, it makes money, but if it doesn't make money, I don't need to turn something that I love into a job. I've been down that road. It's not enjoyable. You start to hate the very thing that you originally loved. And so that's kind of what this tarot reading was about for me. It was a huge eye-opener, a huge kick in the butt. And, you know, like I said, sometimes when the universe speaks, you know, it doesn't speak, it yells in your ear like a sergeant. Like a drill sergeant. So, and that's definitely what this was for me, and I'm fired up. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if I can answer any more questions, I'm going to try to start sharing some of my more spiritual experiences. It's just that sometimes it's such a deeply personal nature that I don't even know how to express it to share it with somebody. So, thank you very much, and please comment down below, hit like, subscribe. I'm still gonna keep making videos. It's gonna be ebb and flows because I've got so many other things going on that I can only make videos and upload maybe when I don't have other projects going on. This can't be my main priority. But I do enjoy doing it. I do love making videos. I love talking to you guys, and the more you guys watch, comment, and subscribe, the more that I can make videos. So I just have to make sure that I'm getting, you know, a reaction out of it. I'm making some headway with this in the video making department for me to make it a priority, basically. So you want me to make more videos, then make the videos a priority by watching them, subscribing, sharing, the whole nine. Alrighty, thank you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.